Good morning, party people. Hope you're doing well. It is chilly out here in San Jose. I'm kind of glad I didn't ship all my sweatshirts off to Cincinnati. I thought I wasn't going to be seeing any more chilly weather, but I'm telling you, I cannot handle how chilly it is right now without a sweatshirt or something warm on. Anyway, I'm going to get cracking on that 850 manual swap today. I've collected a lot of bits from the salvage yard. The owners got parts shipped in. We hopefully should be able to get that thing running today. Crazy thing is, it's trapped where it is, so we'll have to drive it in the parking spot. Shift it through a few gears, make sure everything works right before I head out. Then hopefully I'll have some time to get started on that other 850 he's got. It needs a few things, kind of maintenance things done to it. So he's got to find the key to that thing so that we can get that thing cracking. I can start the car without the key, but it'd be better to have a key. Anyway, I want to cover a couple things. One, man, if you don't know how to troubleshoot, I don't know what to tell you. I try to give troubleshooting tips on the beginning and in all of my videos that I make when I make repair videos. Contacting me, trying to get me to troubleshoot from 1,000 miles away, over the text message, over the phone, over the email, man, that's probably not going to work. Forcing me to try to tell you what's wrong with your car, probably leading you down a rabbit hole. Number one, you got to get a code reader. If you're going to be trying to save, I talked to my mechanic in Albuquerque. He said the average trip to his shop is about $368. That was 3 years ago. Everything's gone up since then. COVID happened. So, if you can't spend $100 on a code reader or $200 to $400 on a Vita dice, I don't know what to tell you. You know, your average repair, almost $400, you got to get that troubleshooting equipment. Then you got to learn how to use it. If you can't troubleshoot, you need to take your car to a mechanic. Tow it there. A tow is cheaper than an engine. Man, I'm talking to people that are running their engine dry on oil, and they think it's okay to drive it to the mechanic shop. Leaking oil out so fast, you can fill up your coffee cup. Then people got oil leaks that's leaking faster than their coffee machine can fill up a coffee cup, and they want to drive the car somewhere. You can't do that. You either got to fix it on the spot or have it towed somewhere, or just be prepared to put an engine in it. 9 times out of 10, if you're jacking around trying to repair your car yourself, you think it ain't worth fixing. That's why you're trying to fix it yourself. You won't pay a mechanic to do it. You don't know how to troubleshoot. Now you're driving around with no oil. That's only going to end in one way. That car being at the salvage yard for me or some of my viewers to go pick parts from. And that's okay. I'm alright with that. If you think it's a better idea to go to a used car dealership in today's market and pay $15,000 for an $8,000 car, then start making payments on it, versus buying a good code reader and troubleshooting and learning how to fix your car yourself, man, go ahead. I tell my nephews and stuff all the time, if you don't want to fix it, make sure you got a job that pays you enough money so you can pay somebody else to fix it. And that's okay. That's what makes this world go round. I have nothing against you taking your car to a mechanic and getting it fixed right. But you got to learn how to troubleshoot. Got to get you a scanner. You got to watch the videos, pay attention. If you don't understand watching the video the first time, watch it 10 times. The more you watch it, the more you learn, the more you pick up on some things and be able to figure that out so you can get that car fixed. I don't mind you asking me questions. But an example, and I'm not trying to pick on anybody. Example is, somebody sent me a video via email of your car leaking oil. Oil everywhere, from the headlights all the way back to the rear tires. The only way you're going to find that leak is to wash that oil leak down. You got to get some brake parts cleaner. You got to spray everything that looks wet, get it all dry, then start the car and watch it till you see oil, figure out where that oil's coming from. You're not going to be able to look under there at all that oil covering everything under the engine compartment from the headlights back to the back tire. Without washing that up, you're not going to be able to figure out where it's coming from. And asking me to look at it from a somewhat grainy video, not going to work. Oh yeah, I'm still getting people videos. I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it. Where you found my phone number was a plea from me not to text me videos. I don't mind you uploading them somewhere, sending me the link. I don't mind you sending me all the pictures you want. But please do not text me. Videos. When I get them, they're useless and they jam up my phone. The system will compress that thing so bad that it's super grainy and the audio is horrible. I can't see or hear anything. It's pointless, waste of time. I don't know why people still do it. Now, you people that's on iPhones, when you try to do that to another iPhone user, Apple uses the cloud to host that video for you guys so y'all can get away with that. Us Android people, we're not part of that system, so it doesn't work for us. Another thing, like I mentioned, the average repair that you'll do to your car from watching my videos will save you probably about $200. Most repairs, half the cost is the part, half the cost is the labor. So if you do a $400 repair on your car, you probably save $200 in labor, maybe a little more. Now, a lot of you guys have used dozens of videos that I've published to save money on fixing your car. You've learned a lot about mechanics and repair techniques from watching my videos. This is priceless information. This stuff, people pay $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 going through college and getting automotive technology skill set education to learn how to fix cars. Minimum of 10 G's. I have people that will order a $6 tool, pay $4 or $5 for shipping. I'll take the tool. Now this just happened. I ain't making this up. I'm not naming anybody, and this has happened more than once, so I'm not picking on nobody. But hear me out. I package the thing up. I print off the shipping label. I send you the tracking number. I put the label on the package. I drop the package off to the postal service. I have 100% done my part. I can't take it and put it in your mailbox myself. You live halfway across the country. $6 don't pay for my time putting it in the envelope or having the part manufactured half the time. If I go to the junkyard specifically to get a part for somebody, it's going to take me 2-3 hours of my life that I have modestly valued at $50 an hour to get a part to ship to you. Man, I'm seriously helping you out here. Half of this stuff you can't get nowhere else but from the salvage yard. I'm getting to the story. So this part, this tool that cost me $93 to start manufacturing, I'm selling for $6 a pop on my website. I put it in the package. I give it to the postal service because they are equipped to transport that to you. It don't get to you. So instead of calling me or just ordering another one, they send me an email. On the road, I don't do email well. I don't have time to answer 100 emails a day. I'm not going to do it. If you have a problem, call or text me. I don't get the email. This is in February. I don't know how long ago. I get a second email. I missed that one. 3 days ago, I checked my email. I got a final notice. Robert. you have not mailed my part. You printed a label and you didn't put it in the post office. I'm going to turn you into PayPal for that $6 that I paid you for that tool if I don't hear from you immediately. Dude, why would I keep $6 from you? Why? If you don't get it, call or text me. If you don't hear from me, then turn me into PayPal. Don't send me some email that I hadn't seen and then turn me. You know, I don't care if you turn me into PayPal. I really don't. I'm trying to help you guys save thousands of dollars. You want to turn me into PayPal for $6? Go ahead. They'll send me a notice. Then I'll know through my PayPal that you didn't get your $6 tool. I'll refund your money and send you a $6 tool. I have no reason not to drop it in the mailbox. I'm going there 3-4 times a week. Why would you think that you trust the postal service more than you trust me? I'm not trying to cheat anybody out of $6. Get it? I hope so. Had that happen several times. It ain't just one person. So please don't take it personal. Other than that, if you have requested that I get some kind of part for you and you don't have a tracking number and we haven't communicated in the last 48 hours, send me a text message or call me so we can confirm that I still know how to get that part to you. I have 2 people that I have parts for. I can't find the contact string. I didn't write it down. I don't have a special notebook for this stuff. So I got some light connections and I got some serpentine belt tensioner rollers that I'm trying to get to some people. I don't know how to get in touch with you. Call or text me so we can finalize that, get that to you, and get that behind me. I got the parts. I got them packaged up. I need to label them, make sure we're square on the money, and get that to you. Other than that, man, I'm getting ready to hit that 850 manual swap. I hope everybody's having a great day. Oh, one more thing. I remixed my Davis car show video because there was some kind of mix-up in getting that thing published. Whenever that happens, my views go way down on that kind of video. So I'm republish that video. Nothing has changed in it. If you've already watched it, you don't have to watch it. I'm republishing it so that it gets a fair shake on getting the views that it should get. So that's where I'm at. Hope you guys are having a great day and hope you enjoy today's clips. Thanks for watching. Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert. That's me. This video contains things that I encounter throughout the day. If for some reason I complete a task and you would like to see the details, you can click on the link in the description area below. This video also contains tips and tricks that I learned throughout the years. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. Thank you very much for watching. Here we are, folks, back at the storage facility. Man, I don't know if it's going to be hot enough for me to put the tent up. I thought it was, but I may be okay. We'll see how this works out. If I start sweating, I'll throw it up. The wheel fell off. Of course, we need new calipers. I'm going to pick those up tomorrow from a salvage yard. Find some calipers at work, at least one. And I can't remember if we got brake fluid here. I need to check. See if there's brake fluid down here so we can bleed the clutch and stuff. My next step, empty out the car, start this interior stuff, and keep this thing rolling, crack-a-lacking. Whoop, whoop. Somebody asked me about, man, if these cars are too far gone. Nope, you can always save an R. If the body's not smashed, everything else is cosmetics. I mean, everything else is mechanical, can be fixed. So let's get going. I probably should find out who's got this camper right here and have them extend out their little shade thing. That'll be plenty of shade. Last time I was down here was Saturday, and today is Tuesday. Sunday I had the Davis show. Yesterday I worked on Cadillacs, and the engine has fallen off of the jack stand, and that bottle jack, my guess is the bottle jack fell or compressed, started losing its pressure. And I hope it didn't break anything, because it looks like it fell on that turbo in this mount. How to get this thing back up? Get this subframe under it. I got the inside front area cleaned out enough to do what I need to do in here. I'm gonna get the pedals in next, then the shifter in, and then I'll be able to connect that stuff to the transmission outside and reinstall that subframe and stuff. Now, I learned one thing when taking down the subframe, and that is you shouldn't hit those steering rack bolts with an impact gun. It's easy, but when you impact them, those screws that are pressed in to the steering rack, they bounce out. Now they're floating. I got 2 of them floating before I realized I shouldn't do that no more. And I don't know how many I've messed up over the years. At any rate, I'm gonna go ahead and pull out this center console. I'm probably gonna hook my jump box up and hit this thing with the scanner and get the correct mileage out of the instrument cluster. I say it a million times. The mileage on these P80 cars is stored in the instrument cluster. It is not in the ECU. So you can swap all the ECUs you want. That mileage is in the cluster. You swap a cluster, you change the game. So that's where we're at here. I'm gonna read the cluster, correct the mileage on there, put a new odometer gear in there. Usually when you find these things zeroed out, that means the odometer gear is broke. And I'm gonna work on doing that as well. Hopefully I'll get that done today. So let me get this center console removed, the lower dash panel removed. Oh yeah, I have a special screwdriver that I use to get this clamshell loose. That screwdriver is a T15. You got to put that screwdriver in that front corner hole, and it's got to reach all the way up here to get the screw right here. Well, I had a screwdriver that disappeared after my trip to Solano. It may be in a box or something. I don't know what I did with it. But I went back to Napa to get another one of those Carlisle screwdrivers. Couldn't find one. 4 or 5 Napas. They told me it was a special order item. Anyway, I happened to check while I was in O'Reilly's, and they have this power torque screwdriver with that part number there, GM8768. It's a T15 with a 4-inch shank and lifetime guarantee. I don't think it's guaranteed against loss or stolen. However, when you stick this thing up there, it reaches the screw before it bottoms out. So that's a good thing. You wiggle that thing around just right. You catch that screw up in there, that T15, and you get to screw that screw out of there so you could properly remove this clamshell without damaging anything. And let me use 2 hands to do this. The driver is engaged with the screw with that much of it left. So you have about a 1/2 inch of it left. You see it's opening up top. Screw it till it clicks, shake it, bring it down, and there you have it, folks. That's the screw you're trying to get at. Other than that, you're going to break this clamshell trying to get this thing off the steering column. I don't think I have a key to disconnect this steering column. I may be able to cut the cable down here to do something about that. Anyway, let me go ahead and see what I could do about this. And for some reason, if you lose those screws in the steering column, it's the same screws that holds the ashtray in. Ouch. Not having a key to this car may be detrimental to getting this center console out, because I can't move the shifter. I may have to cut that cable to get this shifter loose. Pulled this beautiful shift knob just to get some working room. That's in pretty decent shape. Hopefully I get the ashtray out now. I might be okay with getting this console out with the shift knob off. Look at there, Darren gave me the right key. I thought he was giving me the key to the white car. Gave me the key to the black car. If you need to remove this shift lock cable, usually the cable's not bad, it's the solenoid down there. But anyway, you turn the key to the first position, you squeeze the connector, and you pull it out. The connector has a kind of a top and bottom on it there. That's the top, that's the bottom. You squeeze that, slide the shift lock cable out. Cables rarely go bad, it's normally the solenoid. Now this cable stops you from turning the ignition off if the car is not in park. So when you have a problem with your shifter button not popping out, this is what's locking the key in there. On cars that are manual, I seen a little thing in there that was a stub, but I don't know if it does anything. It may stop you from pulling the cylinder out, because this is also how you pull the cylinder out. So with the key in that position, I could probably pull this cylinder out with it in the first position. This one seems to be kind of stuck, but maybe I'll put this in there to stop people from pulling the cylinder out. Cut that off, put it back in there. But it also stops you from pulling the key out when the shifter's not in park. Since the subframe's out, I had to put that bottle jack under the steering rack to support this while I take this piece out. I had to get this out, make it easy to get the pedals in and out. So let me get cracking on that. Disconnected my steering column. I push my brake pedal down, push my switch all the way toward the front, and get that released without breaking it. Pulled the clip off my brake booster, wiggled the cruise control switch out, pulled the pin out of the accelerator, pulled that out of the way. I'm getting ready to pull the accelerator bracket so I can get the firewall junction. Took the screws out of the side of the amp. I'm going to go release the other side of that amp. Then I'll move the amp out of the way and get this heater core out, because I got a new heater core. I think I have an accelerator cable that I need to put in here as well. And I got to do the firewall junction. So I cut the foam so that I can access those screws where the clutch cables come through, so I can remove that plate and put in the master slave cylinder. Just moving along. Had a bunch of coolant in there. Gotta thank my buddy Jason for all these trash bags he gave me. Smells really good too. I must say, I am shocked as to how many of these vehicles have the original heater cores. I'm assuming it's an original heater core. Maybe not, but man, that thing looks old. It's darker brown on the bottom. When they get dark brown on the bottom like that, they could explode at any time. A little bit of seepage in there. Anyway, we got a new one. Let's get it in. Darren got this knockoff of the aftermarket heater core. I think this black doesn't last as long as the cream. I don't know, 100,000 miles maybe. Anyway, takes less than an hour to replace it. Just if it leaks, replace it. It comes with this gasket. You got to get the gasket positioned about right there. Go up over the big ridge part, go across and back down. So there you have it. The foam's installed. It goes up. It hits that lip right there. Goes across the top of the ridge. Hits that lip right there. Goes down the other side. It's ready to be installed, people. Whoop, whoop. Occasionally I hear people complain about the aftermarket heater cores not being as thick as the original or bare heater cores. I don't know. There may be 10%, 20% thinner. Man, let me tell you something. I have never had an issue with one of these heater cores not heating the car up enough. Even on that side, A little bit thicker on that side, about 1/4 inch maybe. Man, these things blow me out of the car. If you are having problems getting heat in your car, it's got something to do with your blend door motors. Now, I am a little bit concerned with the gaskets that come with this new one. They don't seem as fat, but they may be fine. So that's the only concern I have. Well, if somebody's got one of these heater cores in their car and they've put a bunch of miles on it and it's failed, let us know how long it lasts. Because right now, I don't know. I don't know if they last 10,000 miles or 100,000 miles. Let us know if you've had experience with these black heater cores with no name on them. Woohoo! I wanted to check the package I got, make sure I got parts I needed. I got the Volvo Firewall junction, great buy. And I got 2 heater hoses, DO88 Performance. Dear customer, buying this product was a wise decision. You're a genius. Would have been nice if y'all would have gave him some clamps to clamp these hoses on the end of his old connection. So I don't know how much of a genius he was, but y'all didn't help the man out with no clamps. So I don't know. The end that goes in the firewall doesn't have any clamps on it. It's quick disconnect. So then I don't have a way to cut away the current hoses to get these on there. So I got to figure that out too. The other hoses he's got is, what you call those things? URO? Don't use those either. So more challenges, folks, slowing me down. Okay, people, these are heater hoses. If your heater hoses is 30 years old, it's time to replace them. Now, I wouldn't recommend using heater hoses that are older than 10 years old. 20 is a lot. That's a good run. Man, if they're more than 20 years old and they're original, get rid of them. They're ready to pop at any time, especially if somebody's tampered with them. Somebody take one of these hoses, take a clamp off, break it loose from the pipe, put a clamp back on. That hose is probably damaged if it's old. This thing is getting soft and spongy. Sometimes you can hear them, they're crackly. Get those things off your car. And just to kind of reiterate, this is really not just a manual swap. This is what I call, and other people call, a Restomod. We're giving this car a restoration and doing modifications at the same time. You can't, really calculate a time on that, man. That takes days, some people months. So anyway, what I need to do to figure out how to use those DO88 hoses is I need to figure out how to get this piece of metal off of this hose and that end of the pipe so that I can put the DO88 hose on there and then find a clamp to clamp it on and use these ends, reuse these ends, clean them off, reuse them. But right now, I don't really have a way to cut this away from these hose ends. So I don't know if I want to mess with that now or later. More decisions. A lot of people don't know this, but I am not a fan of silicone hoses running your coolant. The reason why is I've had several reports, not one or two, several reports of silicone hoses just blowing out, splitting down the middle on these cars, losing all their coolant, and guess what happened when they don't get the engine shut off in time? Blows the engine. Now, this DO88 hose, it looks like it may be 4 layers of silicone in there. Looks like I see 3 layers of that cord. So these may be okay. I don't know. Somebody else have to tell me if they ever had one of these DO88 hoses collapse or explode on them. Now, this hose is relatively shaped in the shape of the original hose, where it's pretty close it should work okay. But again, I gotta figure out how to get that off of there. So let me go ahead and get this firewall junction replaced and worry about this hose a little later. Took the screws out of that firewall junction. I may have to put that heater core in before I could screw this firewall junction back together, just to get it to hold it in place. Here's those gaskets. The one on the right's the new one. The one on the left is the old one. So the old one looks a little thicker. That was my only concern with this heater core situation. Well, it went in pretty easy without the heater core installed, so that's good. Let's get the heater core installed. Got the auto shifter out. I took the cable, hacksawed about half of it, and cut the other half off with the 10 snips. So I'm gonna put this back in the steering column so that it won't have the ability to pull a key ignition cylinder out. All right, folks, we are moving right along. We have the shift cables installed, fully installed. I have the shifter installed, bolted down. I got that plastic plate in there holding the cables in place. So I got one of these. I'm going to send this to Steven because this is what he's missing off of his pedals on his green R. I got that thing bolted down in place. I got the heater core installed, getting ready to put that drain line down. Now this padded thing goes to the passenger side, under here and out there on the transmission. And the driver's side has some yellow paint on the cables. So that's how that goes. And these cables do slide in and out of this bushing here. So those could be moved where they need to be. And I'm going to put that condensation drain, plug that back into the floor. And then I'm going to do these pedals. And man, I need to, looks like this jack is sinking again. This thing is falling through the floor. I need to get that hooked back up before that jack falls down too far. That is a sinking bottle jack. Now for the fun part, the pedals. Let me take these bolts loose up here and then work on all those bolts there so I can get these pedals replaced, swapped over. I'm gonna jack that bottle jack up a little bit before that falls down some more. About to slide in the master cylinder, which is already hooked up. Then this will screw into the slave cylinder down there. Make sure ain't no dirt in there. Flush that out. I notice it's a FAG 0594. It's an old line, but man, it looks good. You get this thing installed. Sad to say, time to shut it down. I got the cables in, firewall junction in, slave cylinder and master cylinder in. I got to hook up the line. I got the cable secure on the transmission, and I got the pedals in, the cables in here, the shifter in and secure, the new heater core in. I don't think he wants this radio system hooked back up. And I got the yoke hooked back up, the brake booster secure, the master cylinder secure. And it's time for me to shut this down, clean this up, get out of this storage facility. So only got 5 hours in the day. Ouch. But we'll hit some more tomorrow, I guess. I'll try to get down here tomorrow early afternoon again, knock out a few hours. However, I bought a car I need to go pick up, so need to go do that too. So let me clean up this mess and get out of here. Go get some dinner. Done for the day. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.